curtains, and then you can even see the molding of the blocks. We are going to commission.
Okay, you continue talking. I want to show this.
We are going to commission. A construction of.
So let's move closer. So you can see the chippings here.
This is what we are going
and
to do on Saturday.
A project. We are told that the party constituency, the central constituency office, was just preparing to begin the construction of a clinic. A clinic.
Yes.
And the foundation is already dug. And they were doing this in connection with the MP, Tamale Central, the late Dr. Murtala Ibrahim. Unfortunately, he is no more. He was part of those state officials who died in the helicopter crash that happened somewhere in the Ashanti region. You can see they have just done the foundation, and you were explaining what is going on here.
I said the sword cutting will be taking place on Saturday, and we are even putting our arrangements forward to make sure.
So he was supposed to be here on Saturday.
Projects come to reality, and then before we realized, we had this particular unfortunate news. Actually, it is a very big blow, and I know the good people of Tamale will miss him a lot. Looking at the limited time period he has used to bring developmental projects to the good people of Tamale Central, he was a godsend, actually. But at least we love him, and God also loves him. And we know where he's going, inshallah. Things will be possible from him.
Some words of prayer coming from one of the constituency executives here at the Tamale Central office of the National Democratic Congress. It is the constituency of the late Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, MP for Tamale Central, Minister for Environment. And we just showed you a project he was supposed to commission on Saturday. And so many constituents here are devastated, and they are crying, many of them reciting the Quranic verse repeatedly, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And it is a moment of grief here for the people of Tamale. I'll still try and see if I can talk to more people. You live on Ghana Television. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Please, can you share with us your name? I know this is a very difficult moment for you.
It's not dead. It's still alive. That's all I can say.
You still don't want to believe the story?
It's still alive. It's still alive.
Well, Maurice, if you can hear me, there are many people here, like our brother here, who doesn't want to believe the story that he is dead. You heard from him. He's saying that, no, the Honorable Minister is not dead. He's still alive. He is still very hopeful that he will hear something. But unfortunately, you got the report, and I want to believe that Nicholas should be coming upstream soon with the footage of the airlifting from the grounds in the Ashanti region. So if you've just joined us, we're coming to you live from the Tamale Central constituency of the National Democratic Congress, and it is a big blow here, not just for the people of Tamale Central, but the entire northern region. This is one MP who has served as MP for Nantong, lost, and then came to contest the seat of Tamale Central and won. And he is one affable man here, beloved to many people here in the region. And earlier you heard some women telling us that even this morning they spoke with him and they prayed for him, not knowing that it was all their very final words they'll be sharing with me. Let me see if I can get to talk to more people. Sir, thank you very much. Good afternoon. You're live on Ghana Television.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Difficult moment for you, I know. Tell us how you feel at this moment.
As at this moment, very sad. We are very sad. We are hoping to have him on Saturday to have a short cutting of one of the clinics he's been created. Just all over Saturday. I was just sent to buy a food to come. Before I came, I heard the tragic news.
At what point? What time of the day did you hear this news?
It was around 12, after 12:45, that this news got to us that this is what happened. We still don't want to believe, but what we can say is inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. So, Maurice, I have to hand over to you back now in the studio, just to show you that many more people are arriving here at the constituency office as the news comes in, there are many here who still don't want to believe that this has happened. Unfortunately, that story coming from far away in Ashanti region.
Right.
Many people here grieving and looking very, very devastated and sad. Let me hand over back to you in the studio, Accra.
Murtala, before you hand over,
subsequently we will be back with you with more updates.
Before you hand over, Murtala, if you can hear me, apart from that project you just showed us, are you able to update us on other projects that he is embarked on in the Tamale Central constituency? All right, so that was Murtala Issa, who is our Northern Regional Correspondent, reporting live from the Tamale Central NDC constituency office. Difficult moment for those who have made their way to that particular office. Some still not believing that their MP is gone. And so that was Murtala Issa, our Northern Regional Correspondent. Quickly, we'll get onto the lines and speak to Ras Mubarak. He's a leading member of the NDC. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Mubarak. Sad moment for all of us, for your party, the NDC, and for that matter, Ghana. How did you receive this particular chilling information?
Well, this is a very dark Wednesday, not just for NDC members or members of government, but for all Ghanaians. You know, we all did not wake up expecting such sad news, but the rumor started circulating online, and my thinking was that it was one of those wild rumors, you know, until the Honorable Chief of Staff confirmed that indeed this had happened through his public announcements. Let me say that my heartfelt condolences goes to the bereaved family, and that in a moment like this, I would make a passionate appeal to all Ghanaians to respect the families and desist from sharing, you know, videos and images of the passing of their loved ones. This is a very difficult moment for everyone. Interestingly, I have known at a very personal level the Honorable Omane Boamah, Honorable Murtala, Honorable Limuna, and Dr. Sako. And these are very, very good people. As recent as last Sunday, just this past Sunday, I spoke to them. I had all of us know that such tragedy would befall not just the government, not just the NDC, but, you know, Ghanaians as a whole. And this also tells us how fleeting life is. And indeed, as the saying goes, good people don't live longer. You know, so my prayer in this very difficult moment for our comrades who have fallen in the line of duty is that may the good Lord accept their souls and may they have eternal rest. You know, they passed away tragically in the line of duty. But as we pay our respects and express condolences to the families, this also brings to fore the Galamsey menace that we are faced with. This would have been, if I'm not mistaken, the number of people who have died would have been 7 government officials who have died in the line of duty. You remember Major Muhammad dying tragically in an attempt to fight Galamsey. And here we are, we've tragically, lost young, vibrant, dedicated, patriotic men in an accident simply because a bunch of savages have decided to destroy our water bodies in connivance with foreign nationals. And when this tragedy happened, what came to my mind is the recommendation of the Honorable Jose Usu, former MP Bekwai, when he said on the floor of Parliament that people who are destroying our environment and water bodies should be treated as murderers and be shot on sight and killed. How many more dedicated Ghanaians do we have to lose before we take serious exception to people who destroy our water bodies, who destroy our environment? But for Galamsey and its menace, our brothers probably would have been alive. They wouldn't have been in this fateful helicopter that took away their lives. So when the dust settles, we need to have a national conversation and a final one on what we need to do to people who are destroying our water bodies. When Major Muhammad was murdered in a cold blood, we thought that would have brought an end to the greed of a few who think that they have to destroy the water bodies and the forests for their selfish gain. Today, tragically, we've lost young, vibrant, patriotic Ghanaians, all associated with Galamsey. Must we wait for another prominent Ghanaian to pass away before we take action, before we take exception?
Hold on for us. We are receiving live pictures as the bodies of the deceased are being retrieved from the incident scene in Ashanti region. Our Ashanti regional correspondent, Nicholas Osewusu, is joining us with those pictures, the bodies of the deceased, the victims of the plane crash are being retrieved and will be returned to Accra. Nicholas Osewusu, over to you. All right, so that's our Ashanti regional correspondent. Nicholas, we can hear you. Give us updates from the location you are currently. We hear the bodies are being retrieved. Nicholas Osewusu, you are live. I can hear you. Go ahead. Right, so we're trying to connect to our Ashanti regional correspondent who is currently at the accident scene. What we know is the bodies will be retrieved and sent back to Accra. All national flags are flying at half-mast as directed by the presidency.
Pandemonium following today's national disaster, and the community is Anati from Bofedu here in the Adansi community, Adansi Perform district in the Ashanti region. It is one of the cluster Adansi districts here in the Ashanti region. It shares boundaries with Obuasi East municipality and then Adansi South district. It also shares boundary with Adansi North district here in the Ashanti region. And then the whole issue is that this morning we all heard about the catastrophe that has befallen the nation following the crash of a military chopper here in the mountains of Adansi Bofredu. Yes, Adansi Bofredu. And the news is no more breaking news to anybody because we have heard a bit of information about what has happened. But to give you an update of what is happening, first I want to let you know what is happening at the base of the mountain where the incident has happened. And if I should give you a full visual or images of what is happening in your Zoom shot, that is the summit of the mountain where the disaster struck this morning. And so you are seeing the mountain where it struck. And from the community, Bofedu to where the issue happened is about a 2-hour walk. And incidentally this morning, the weather has not been too friendly for air maneuvering by whatever means. Incidentally, the incident that happened, there was no means of motorized machine to go there, whether by vehicle, whether by motorcycle. The only means to the place is by foot, and it has to take the courageous and the strong to get there. Many people try their best to get to the actual scene, but unfortunately, at various stages of the journey to where the incident happened, they had to return to the base community. And so many people have gathered here. If you can see from your shot, they have gathered here, and the whole community has been thrown into a pandemonium because it is a disaster that is of unimaginable magnitude to the whole country. For us to lose the number and caliber or status of people, government officials and military officials involved, it is virtually the first time it is happening. But as you can see from your shot, the security officials are preparing the community to receive the remains of the officials who have incidentally lost their lives. We are told that we are waiting for some helicopters that will come and take or receive the remains from where they are gone. Yeah, when I was returning, yes, you are seeing from your shot here. These are some of the bags that have been sent to the summit of the mountain to collect the charred bodies of the officials who have incidentally passed on, and these are short of security officials getting ready to receive the mortal remains of the government officials and occupants of the chopper who incidentally lost their. Then you also see in your shot the Obuasi West Municipal Chief Executive, Madam Fostila Kanin Apia, and some officials of the assembly. They are here waiting for the remains to be brought from the summit of the mountain so they can give it the respect, they can accord them the desired respect. And so that is what is happening. But Morris, I want to engage one or two people who have key information as to how the whole thing happened this morning. And I have with me one such personality who was here and saw everything for himself and is ready to tell us what happened. Good afternoon, sir. Afternoon. But you were live our Ghana Television, GTV, and GBC News. About the Amaye. I'm a pacho, a family family, you don't have family and a family. Louis Kamai. Nah, and I'm sorry, there will be had an idea, see happen. The pacho, the baby, see other. Nah, I don't know who. They are tea and say, there were Kamai and Nabus Uni, Tina and Poor baby. He's a course, doing a bit mono. And your accident. And tell my scam up for any will feel any dear. It's American Namulim. Yeah, go play warm in Musabia or more life. As you are calling a jump them, I want to look at me at home. Now, and you want us out for what do you put me? I mean, because I'm going to be my fourth wife. Okay, we're back by my side. Try for one each Obia, only ho. Sign out who see who, any dinner who and say, play no color. Do you be a friend of Danta? And the didn't go boom. A boom in a full state. The fire not to Dantano, I say. And now, a cola, people, a button, a honor, a jam, a could see a jam, a tomb. And they say, how far?
Anybody who are clearly ask him. I will offer. They said, anybody we are pana.
Okay. Now, assemble here see. Come up for send and we see a funnel. Just say maybe I bet him with Biano. Now we na ever but I'm more beer than I don't see baby. You can't want them to send a Muslim.
The patcho. Sassy will buy you that. Because here, if you were see that, I can't maybe a play and got a basic party so in the baby and playing left with the now that all James said here, you will be glad I can if you are there. Yanti assembly.
Enti esi foforo no. Mo tere se mo na mo nim se mo nim nipa dodo a ene nipa kura na ro.
Nipa to ye yin. E ko pim se ye ko ye ya. O ma sese da wa ye bua. Ese umu ye be hu o ma. Ye hu se nipa do ju se na.
O ko e hu nipa se.
Nipa to mi akasa de no se nipa sia. Na mo da ho. Ba se bi sase de a. Ye hu. O so just ne ba e hu se ye ko ye.
But as a papa, we didn't be him.
But your friend,
okay. Morris, we heard from an eyewitness of the incident, Kwame Che from Sikamai. Yeah, Sikamai Bofredru. That is the base community of where the disaster has happened. And now we are going to speak to another person who happened to be an eyewitness of the incident. He's also going to share with us what he knows and what he saw at the scene. Good afternoon, sir. Matwado akasa kese kakra. Yewo GTV Ghana Television and GBC News so. Nti obi a hwe Ghana ha. Mbatwo wudi di say. Gideon Odro. Mbatwo kasa kese kakra ban. Dia na wo so nimpa accident di say dey sisi here.
Come on. We need the family can clear so fast. We need the bar. We need the family can call. But you go on and I am a home. You go on. I'm to me. If you are running, I can go back to you. And I'm see a million. Accidentally, they see him here. Now a Bollywood, the plane. A crash. And a pen better from the top on the tea. Dinam Libya, and the baby woman which now survival with me about a year. And the choirs, and the baby anyone, which I had it. I survive with me. To the require the new answer depending on it. Ash, training in answer. Ash, if you are into Sana me.
Now we feel now what is I and I would do the caco. Now we film a phone number 2.
But your number of never.
The process are not over.
The Coco Honor, to plan the chairman. Yeah, I am there. A jeep woman outside, a chashi. It's a drum here, and a giant. Some of Papa share. At the crowd, it's you on. It's me quiet, I make what I make what I make what I. Not many you there, dear. No, at a toy. Because of the back, they say, and I'm going to say, anxiety. A jacket, a down my ass. Maybe about a person who says, I say, and she, me on the camera when your coil. A children son of for the camera on Cassia, as I say, if you don't. Johnny B. Ash your mama or much, but media. You probably could you could do a name and go on. The mother bought a month from when I said they are in the bit apple. And I'm sure. And I'm quite sure.
Now, now we need to say, be best me.
Oh, media. I don't know what to say. I don't know, and yes. Oh, my father said, be a crowd of fine. By me, penny pana or woman. So there are on the young man on my watching. Then why? Me, I had
but as India send now because you are Ghana, you know, actually, no. As some way, the meaning say be up to you that. Apart from say, best and fear do me and say, your company, a free so. As some say, the MC being to you that. Send out, then I'll become.
Yeah, but actually, I'm not penny. Say, a woman say, I throw my Egypt. Egypt, you guys on my train. Yeah,
because plane no etu na yira e de ekwensia bebre na no ye wo hase ya na plane de si the same thing and when you my say otu an original but when you do an we yina ana ko da ni kwensia yes ram e wi mu ye say yes ram o mu ye program bia no kra na mo panton chance mo fa program no ton chance no mo nyene ni pa no aho de ne ne nkwa esi ade akosi esi ade akosi aya ahun ti bebre aya ahun ti bebre esra omo nyene empeni for yes ebine empeni for esra
also the say Gideon Odro. Yo, Morris, I've spoken with Gideon Odro. He's spoken about what he saw as the first person to have physically seen what happened. And I'm going to speak to a lot more of the citizens or residents of this community. And so he described vividly how the whole thing happened. He was very close by when the incident happened. He heard of the noise of the chopper, and momentarily there was a boom, and he thought it was coming from a crash. And so lo and behold, when he went closer to the scene, that was exactly the scene or situation he witnessed. And he had to return to the community to inform the people, to get other people to go and see if they could do anything to rescue, if there was anybody surviving. Unfortunately, there was nobody who could survive the incident. So he did his best, and he was also advising that as much as possible. Recently, there was a case of a forced landing here or an unshadowed landing by a similar helicopter because of unfriendly weather. And so he's advising government and the powers that be that they should take cognizance of the changes in the weather, such that the movement and the flight should be reduced to the barest minimum, because this is a mountainous area and anything at all could happen. The place is always almost foggy and the weather has never been friendly for flight. And so that is the advice he has given. I'm speaking to quite a number of other residents of the community to find out what they also saw and they know about the situation. Obani, who are GTV? So we'll be here. Mbacho, what did you say?
Samuel Odro.
Samuel Odro. Okay. Mbacho, also to come maybe. Okay. Now, I didn't know here.
What's your
Piani. Now we are now who say BCSC.
I'm not going to allow sorry about saying, 10 o'clock. You know why you would play neighbor. A play neighbor, then I'm from the play here. And I'm from Papa. And I'm doing a better man of boys. The other boy, to 2 minutes. They say, I need a big plane, the very rush is up. And you go for a coffee of 20 minutes and in Timbica. You want to pay 2 hours journey. The Koyampa, you know, I should form a jet. Yes, sir. You bet me a Boamah, it's me a Bonnie Peribia, but the question they can see that you know, it's me called Who. I mean, you girls are good in the Panabasa. If you have some control, I suppose amount as some person Ghana.
But as Papa Morris is also an eyewitness, a farmer who has also gone to see for himself the reality of the crash. I have one of my colleague journalists who has also been able to climb as high as to the summit of the mountain where the incident has happened. Now, not there are officials there. What is being done to the situation? Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, for the sake of my listeners and my colleagues, share with us your name and the media house you work for.
Right, and so my name is Nanaya Okuku. I report for TV3. It's a sad day.
How tough was it getting there?
As you can see, how my whole body, looks like. You can attest to it, how we suffered before getting there. It's at the hilltop. It happened at the hilltop, and it is very tough. Before you get there, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy journey before we got there. It was.
Describe in brief what you saw at the scene.
Right. I could say that at least I saw 5 people burnt beyond recognition. The only thing that I saw there was, is it a fan of the grey? But the entire body of the plane it's burnt beyond recognition. I mean, you can't see anything. You can't find anything. You can't identify anything. You just see people down there, all you see is flames coming out from their body, and you cannot recognize them. I mean, it's horrible to say the least. What I saw at the top there with my eyes, I don't know. A whole lot is happening to me.
So, which officials are available there to try to salvage the remains and then control the situation?
Right, and so I met a lot of military men going top there, policemen, including the Ashanti Regional Minister himself, some officials. I mean, they are trying so hard to get to the top there so that they be able to bring the deceased person down here. I can confirm that they are deceased, my brother, because they are burnt beyond repair.
For the number of years you have worked in the media, tell us, have you come any close to such a scene?
No. You can't see anything. You can't identify anything. All that I saw there that I confirmed that an accident occurred there, one of the chopper, and then the tree that the plane crashed with. That is the only thing that you can find there. You can't see anything. From my experience working over the years within the industry, I've not witnessed a situation like this in my entire life.
Okay.
I've been going to accident scene.
Nicholas,
My brother, this is terrible.
Nicholas, if you can hear me.
Morris, that's my colleague journalist from TV3. He has been working from Obuasi and at the Adansi Enclave, and he's sharing with us what he saw at the scene. But I must also place on record that these are officials of government and military personnel who were crew members of the plane. The government officials were on their way to Obuasi this morning, where there was an official launch of a new government program called the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development. That is an initiative of government to a way of getting or bringing under control the issue of mining, artisanal mining. And so they were going to launch it. Already the regional minister was there. The minister for lands and natural resources was also there. And so these are the officials that were being waited for. Unfortunately, it was in the nick of time that the news broke to some of us, the journalists, and then we also made it known to some key officials to also be aware. And then so some of the officials had to cut short their engagement. And so briefly, that is what happened. Now, as we speak, we are only waiting for the return of the security officials who have gone to the scene of the disaster to bring the remains of the departed souls. So, Morris, that is what I can report to you this afternoon.
So, Nicholas, before you go, it's a mission to retrieve the bodies. From what you pick on the ground, how long before this whole exercise is completed? Hello, Nicholas. All right, so Nicholas Osewusu is the Ashanti regional correspondent. He's reporting from the accident scene or a location close to the accident scene in Adansi Krofrom in the Ashanti region. What we hear from one of the eyewitnesses who claims to have been the first person to witness the scene is that the plane crashed into a tree and then finally caught fire. The bodies, numbering up to 6, all of them have been charred, burnt beyond recognition. Amongst those persons we've come to know is the Minister for Defense, the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, a former Minister for Agric, who is also a former Minister for the Northern Region, who is currently the Deputy Coordinator, National Security Coordinator at the Presidency. A sad day for Ghana. All national flags have been directed flying at half-mast. Let's quickly go to the line and speak to Sheikh Ibrahim Shaib. He speaks on behalf of the National Chief Imam. Good evening to you, Sheikh. This is a difficult moment for yourself and, for that matter, the Chief Imam. How is the Chief Imam taking all this?
Yeah, I directly entered to communicate to him the disaster, and the old man is highly devastated. He knows some of them personally, and so when we informed him, he was personally devastated. He expressed his sympathies, and in our own language, when such disaster strikes, we say Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un, to express that from God we came and unto him is our return. And so at this moment, on behalf of the Chief Imam and on behalf of the entire Muslim community, I want to express our deepest condolences and sympathies to all those who have been affected, particularly the President of the nation. I'm sure the President must be highly devastated for what has happened. These are people who are so close to him. They work hardly, sincerely for him during the campaigns, and these are his appointees. And so they are not ordinary people to the President. And so on the behalf of the Chief Imam, we want to express our deepest sympathies and condolences, and then also to the family, the affected family, and the children and the parents who, if they are alive, we want to express it's really, we are in a state of mourning. The whole nation is in a state of mourning. It's not the family alone. It's a day of sadness and grief. But what can we do? Allah knows best. And so we will continue to say, from Allah we came, and unto him is our return.
For your good self, I mean, you are a national figure. You must have worked closely with some of them, or had some personal relationship with some of the deceased. You want to share some few moments you had with them?
Yes, especially Alhaji Muniru Limuna is a very close associate, a very good friend. We belong to a platform we call the Muslim Parliament, and we've been talking together and engaging. And then we were also schoolmate at the university mates. So at the time when I was at the university, he was also at the university. And outside of the university, we have been relating very, very well. We share moments of jokes with him. I call him Professor in Arabic language because he did Arabic. And so when I see him, I try to bring up those jokes with him. Murtala is a Muslim, is a brother. We are not too close, but I see him as a brother, and so I sympathize. Omane Boamah, my last meeting with him was at the residence of the British High Commissioner. We had a very nice time. I can remember very well, I shook his hand, and it took him time, it took some time, moments before he left off my hand. And for me, it sent a certain signal to me that there was a certain kind of wave that we were sharing together. So for all those who have lost, we don't even need to say whether we are closely related or not. I mean, once we've lost lives, we must all feel affected by this loss. And from the Muslim side, all that we can say is Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un. We pray that God will give them his mercy, and that to the affected family, we pray that God will be by their side in these very, very difficult times. The whole nation is really devastated.
Right. So,
and that's what I can say for now.
Right. These are men who lost their lives in line of duty in the fight against Galamsey, in pursuit of clean water, clean environment. I know you've joined the conversation around Galamsey on countless occasions. What do you think we should do differently this time around so we're able to, deal with this matter, head on? maybe we wouldn't have, lost these lives if we had, managed Galamsey efficiently in the past.
I think that the death of these great men in the line of duty, in fact, they had all, left their homes and their family in order to go and launch this program and in the fight against Galamsey. Then what I would say is that they are heroes in this fight. We must really honor them. They must be given a national honors posthumously. And then also their death should give us a renewed energy and a renewed commitment to say that their death should not go in vain. And so our sincerity in the fight against Galamsey, must be enhanced and do something that their death should not go in vain for us all to succeed in the fight against Galamsey. We must really honor them posthumously for having to die in this cause. And I hope that the whole nation will join in the funeral, in that and the prayer that we will say. And on such a day, they must really be honored as national heroes. That's what I feel.
Right. So, indeed, 8 great men we lost there, but 2 of them belonging to the Muslim fraternity. In instances like this, how is the arrangement like in terms of interment?
Yes, as usual, once death strikes and everything shows that the person has either passed on, we work very expeditiously to get the body buried. But in this particular case, the circumstance of the death itself is something that will not permit that expeditious, arrangement for burial, because we are told that the bodies have been bent beyond recognition, and so we have to patiently wait for the experts to be able to determine the identities of the various people, those who are Muslims and who are not Muslims. And once that has been done, arrangement will be made as quickly as possible to get them buried in accordance with Islamic tradition. Chief Imam has been informed, and we are hoping that the arrangement there is the duty of the family. So what the family will say, that is what the Chief Imam will also work on. Or his Chief Imam or his representative, if he's unable to really participate himself, then it will allow some other imams to represent him to ensure that the burial is done in accordance with Islamic tradition.
Sheikh, before I let you go, you say that these men should be honored. Would your office do anything special, any events?
Yes, I mean, for us, like I've indicated, it should be a national assignment. It should be a national assignment. So whichever arrangement the state, I'm sure because they are Muslims, there will be maybe a separate Islamic funeral for the Muslims among them. On certain occasion, after the prayer, I think that we should be able to really celebrate them as national heroes. As to what goes into it, I cannot tell now, but it should be a state decision, and we will leave that one to the president to decide what kind of honor we should give them. Probably must separate the state program to honor them, from the burial and the funeral itself, so that we can have it at one platform where everybody will be there to be part and parcel of the process. I think that if you ask me, I will express this view. Because they are national heroes, we shouldn't do it separately. But as for the funeral, because the funeral is in strict accordance with Islamic tradition procedures, then we can do the Muslim one, and then afterwards we'll do a national event where we'll honor them as national heroes who had come out and given up their lives, but they died in the line of duty, sacrificing and committing their lives to what is the best for the future of our nation. And definitely we should not gloss over this. And I will push this idea, if I'm asked anywhere, that these are great men of our nation and they have fought with their lives. And so therefore they must be honored in the most befitting manner.
All right. Thank you very much. Sheikh Arimayao Shaib is a spokesperson for the National Imam. Coming in is a statement from the New Patriotic Party, which is the second of the New Patriotic Party, signed by Justin Kodua Frimpong, who is the General Secretary of the NPP. The New Patriotic Party, devastated by the tragic death of 8 persons in a military helicopter crash. The statements read, the New Patriotic Party is reeling with sorrow and grief following the tragic crash of a military helicopter that claimed the lives of all 8 persons on board. Their passing is not only devastating blow to their families, but also a profound loss to the nation they worked to protect and build. We extend our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. No words can truly capture the anguish of this moment. We pray that the Almighty God grants them comfort and strength during this excruciatingly difficult period. We call for a thorough, transparent and swift investigation into the cause of the crash. The dignity of the lives of lost demands answers and accountability to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. In this time of grief, we call on all Ghanaians to come together in unity, prayer and compassion. Let us stand with the families left behind. Let us console and strengthen one another. May the souls of the 8 rest in peace until the last day of the resurrection, when we shall all meet again. Again, this is a statement signed by the General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodua Frimpong. Let's get onto the line and speak to Richard Ahiagba. He's the Director of Communications for the opposition NPP. Good afternoon to you, Richard. I mean, these are men you've had conversations with, Omane Boamah, Ibrahim Murtala, on countless radio stations and TV stations. What will be your initial words at this point?
Oh, thank you very much. Don't have anything to say. I think Black Wednesday in Ghana, I am completely lost for words. I've been pondering what could have been a safe flight to take care of state business and back. Would have been a very uneventful day, except for whatever they set out to do today for Ghana. But unfortunately, here we are. Lives have been lost, and we are all desolate. We are very sad, completely speechless. Can only pray that God knows why this has happened, and that perhaps it's part of His predestination for them, for their lives, and even for Ghana for this to happen today. But apart from that, I don't know what else to say except to wish their families all the strength needed to go through a day such as this and the rest of the painful days ahead. We stand with the family. We mourn with them. This is Ghana's loss, not only their loss. Brother, there's very little I can say. I think that the statement from the New Patriotic Party captures the sentiment, and I think if anything at all, we can all just continue to pray for their souls to find a restful place in the bosom of the Lord.
Certainly you had some encounters with Dr. Omane Boamah, Ibrahim Murtala. You want to share your personal moments with them and what they represent in Ghana's political architecture?
Absolutely, very profound. Dr. Omane Boamah, the very last time I think we appeared together on a program was sometime, I think, towards the 2020 elections, I think in December or so, 2020, or probably before, November, October, thereabout. We met on several occasions on Good Morning Ghana. He is a very thorough person, very controlled but effective communicator. I think that, of course, we all know him as a very shrewd person. So it's fun to engage him, and there's a lot you learn engaging him. He's a gentleman, and often after programs he will talk, and you will forget that we are across the aisle from each other. He advises, he speaks to you as a brother. I remember a day after a program, then Metro TV was still at the cantonment studio. We spent almost about an hour, myself, Dr. Omane Boamah, and Dr. Randy Abbey, after a program, just standing in the yard talking about many things. And you see the humanity, the passion, and the patriotism of an individual comes to light. That I think we're going to miss. It's a great loss. Also, my brother Murtala is a character who we're going to miss very, very dearly. Very combative, very, very combative. And after all the debates and all of that, he laughs with you as though there was no politics. And that's the kind of temperament we need, that we engage spiritedly. And Murtala was good at that. He would debate you as if tomorrow will never come. But then after the program, slight moment. And I think that the last time I encountered him was a call we had about his PhD program and what he was researching and what I thought about the subject, and it was as if we're not adversaries in the political arena.
Sure.
And that's the depth of humanity, I think, that we're losing. The friendship, the understanding that we're together as a people building one country. I think we're going to miss a lot from these two individuals, and there's very, very little that can happen to replace the void they have created. I think that Ghana has lost some very illustrious sons.
Right.
And I think that many other, and I hope that we will do our best to emulate and try to fill the void as much as possible to continue their life's work and their legacies. I think that this is a very, very sad day for Ghana.
Right. Richard, indeed, this is a loss to the whole of Ghana, but it's also a loss specifically to the NDC as a party. You have worked somewhat close with these personalities. What would you say the NDC will be losing with the demise of Dr. Omane Boamah, Ibrahim Murtala Doctor, and the former Northern Regional Minister?
What the NDC would lose is what Ghana has lost in them. And so I think that it's one and the same loss. I think the association with them now is at a state level, especially because what journey they were embarked on was to serve a purpose for Ghana. And so I think now that appropriately, they transcend the National Democratic Congress. They are now products of the state. I think that their laws is now Ghana's laws. NDC's laws is just part of the bigger laws, but then they now transcend the National Democratic Congress. We all mourn them. There cannot be any way for us to differentiate colors in their laws, because they were engaged in a project for this republic, and for that matter, we must celebrate them as individuals who have died for this state and not for NDC. And so I'm reluctant to want to go to the NDC differentiation, but I think that they are lost to the state, and we must celebrate them as such and remember them.
Right, so Richard, the statement you issued, the MPP as a party issued, is calling for some investigations into the cause of this particular accident. That's necessary at this point? Up here we've lost Richard Ahiagba. Richard Ahiagba is the Director of Communications of the MPP. They just issued a statement. They're calling for investigations, transparent investigations into the possible cause of today's tragic accident. They are of the view that this should not happen again to mother Ghana. This is also a statement coming from the Ghana Armed Forces, signed by the acting General Public Relations Director, and the title, Ghana Armed Forces Z9 Helicopter Crashes. The Ghana Armed Forces helicopter Z9 that took off this morning at 09:12 hours from Accra en route to Obuasi has crashed in the general area of Sikaman near Adanse Krofrom in the Ashanti region, and all on board the helicopter feared dead. The crew were squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala, flying officer Mamain Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The passengers were Dr. Edward Omane Boamah, Minister for Defense, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman, NDC, and Mr. Samuel Abuaje, former parliamentary candidate. The Ghana Armed Forces extends its condolences to the bereaved families. Investigations have commenced to determine the cause of the accident. A statement signed by Veronica Ajo Ahin, Captain, Ghana Navy, Acting Director, General Public Relations. We're still Richard Ahiagba. Richard, your line dropped at a point, so the statement you issued is calling for transparent investigations. Your party says that this should not happen to mother Ghana again. Hello, Richard, you can hear me? Right, so we're trying to establish contact with Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications for the NPP. But we also have on the line Dr. Lawrence Tete. He's the President and Founder of Worldwide Miracle Outreach, a statesman we all know. Good afternoon to you, Doc, if you can hear me. Right. Reverend Tete, if you can hear me, certainly you've heard the sad news. What will be your initial words?
Hello.
Good afternoon to you, Doc. If you can hear me, I'm saying certainly the news, has hit you already. What will be your initial comments?
To say that may our prayers be with them. This is devastating to every Ghanaian. You need every human being. This is one thing you not want to even wish on your worst enemy. And I want to say, all the 8 of them, may their soul rest in peace. We also pray that we stand with the family, and I will beg the media and all commentators to be sensitive in times like this. The commentary people will give should be very sensitive to know that people have lost loved ones. People have lost husbands, they've lost friends, they've lost close relatives, they've lost birth units, and it should not be politicized. That nobody should take advantage of a situation like this to politicize it. Painful as it is, it should be national mourning. Regardless of our party colors or where we have come from, we should know that this is the news to all of us. Young men, young exemplary men who would have been able to take Ghana in diverse ways. And of course, they died in a line of duty. We should not take it for granted at all. I will pray that the whole nation mourns them. And I thank God that we are even trying our last half bath in honor of those gallant men who have lost their life in the service of our nation.
Did you come across any of them in your personal line of duty?
Yes, I know. In fact, I know most of them personally. I know Murtala personally. I know Omane Boamah personally. I know Dr. Tapon personally. And coincidentally, I even know some of the flying officers. And so for me, it's been a very hard day. It's been very devastating for me. And I pray that God give them a peaceful rest. And this is a tragedy that as a nation, it should probably never happen to us anymore. My heart goes out to His Excellency the President, President Ibrahim Murtala, how he feels. I know how these young men have been around him and the love he has for them. And of course, the responsibility he gave them was very serious and confidential responsibilities. And to even think that they were going to stand in for him, I can imagine how he feels now. But I pray that with the President and the entire nation of Ghana, there's anything I would say. Let us declare prayer and let's pray that they get a befitting burial, that they deserve as people who have suffered, labored, died in their line of duty.
Right. Not too long ago, I spoke to your good friend Sheikh Shaib, and he is calling for these men to be honored, even as they've passed on. You think same?
That goes without saying, definitely. I think for what the youth stood for and what they were going to do, they deserve to be honored. This fight against Galamsey is something we've all fought against for some time now. And to think that in that line of duty that they met us on time dead, definitely will be honored. I think the President himself knows that these are people who deserve the honors of Ghana. The most important thing, and I want to emphasize again, that no commentator, whether a blogger or a news broadcaster or a journalist or a commentator in any sphere or form, to take advantage of this, to make unguarded statements. We should be very careful and know that people's lives are at stake, people's family are at stake. People are mourning, wives are mourning, children are mourning, family members are mourning, and we should be careful. And that's one statement I really want to emphasize, that we should be sensitive to times like this and not speak unguardedly. We must be guarded with even the statements we make, because this is a painful time. I'm seated here and I feel very devastated, a very painful death. And some of them, some of us know some of them personally. These are men who have a future, who we're looking at to in the coming years. And to have lost these great brains, it's sad that you won't wish that on your worst enemy. So let's give them a befitting burial, and let us be guarded with the choice of words we say today. And those who don't have anything to say, we should not make statements that will make an unwise assumption. what has happened, what has not happened.
Right. Doc, finally, before I let you go, already there are calls for swift, transparent investigations into this horrific incident. You share same thoughts?
Certainly. I mean, if there is a crash anywhere in the world, investigations are conducted. And so this is very important, that there must be investigation. Of course, it's an accident. And that is why in every accident there are investigations to see that was it a human mistake or a technical mistake, and if the technical mistake, how did it come? So that's one, everybody will endorse that. Certainly, as a nation, we've lost 2 ministers, we've lost advisors, we've lost soldiers, and we've really lost the plane too. And so we should investigate it to make sure that the right thing is done. Having said it all, even investigation should not be politicized. It should be done in a decorum manner. Know that it's Ghanaians who've lost faith before even their party colors. And for me, my heart goes out to all Ghanaians, especially the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, his entire cabinet and team, and also to the NDC government party. With a good Lord, let everybody be at peace. And I pray that God's blessings will be upon them and their families in these difficult times.
Right.
The whole nation is certainly mourning, and we pray for God's divine protection.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. He's the president, founder, Worldwide Miracle Outreach. Thank you very much, the doc. And so, as you may be aware already, the confirmed deceased include Dr. Edward Omane Boamah, who is the Minister for Defense, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed is a Deputy National Security Coordinator, a former Minister for Agriculture, a former Minister, Northern Region, Dr. Samuel Sapon, former Minister for Agric NDC Vice Chairman, Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate, WO1 Emmanuel Owusu, Ghana Armed Forces Crew, Daniel Kranche, Ghana Armed Forces Crew, and John Mensah is the Ghana Armed Forces Crew. The whole nation is mourning. We will pause, go for a short break. We'll be back to continue this particular coverage. Stay with us.
regret to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash. Dr. Edward Kofi Omane Boamah, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Alhaji Omane Mohammed Lemonad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. And government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and the servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice. Thank you.